Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or any in-between space it is for you. Welcome to All Things Hadar. If you're new here, I appreciate you so much taking the time to stop by and check us out and see if we resonate with you. For our returning viewers, thank you so much, you guys, for your continued support, your presence. Just really appreciate each and every one of you, new or returning. If you are wanting to know more about how I read, you can find that information in the description box below, along with if you are interested in finding out more of what other types of services and work I do, are interested in scheduling a one-on-one, or if you're wanting your own private reading, you can find that information in the description box below. Okay. So with all of that said, we're just going to move right on in. So these are the decks that I was called to bring forward. Kind of a curious mixture, but yet not. And yeah, this is the first one that like really drew my mind. And I find it interesting because these 4 decks are decks that I actually haven't used in a really long time. And you know, these I do use frequently. So anyways, we're just going to see what comes in. I don't know if we're going to use all the decks, some of the decks. I also have tarot over here, and the Kipper, vice versa tarot, Rider-Waite tarot, Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck, and my friend's tarot deck. So we are going to get started. The first deck that I was drawn to pull was this one, which led to me then pulling those other ones. So we are going to see what's going on. I don't know if you can hear the birds out there. It is so nice to hear them. We've had quite a bit of cloudy, rainy kind of weather for the last few weeks. And it's like sunny. And from what I can tell by the forecast for the next few days, we should have kind of like unseasonably warm weather and sun. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. All Things Hadar. Wow, that did not take long to have that pop out. Thank you. I'm not going to take this one because it didn't actually pop out unless they guide me to do so once I begin to read it. Let's see. All right, first one out we have, you have asked, or have you asked your angels for help with this? Your angels want to help you with the situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So, and again, she's holding this light and she's holding it right around her throat chakra. I feel like there are some of you that really want to be able to speak your truth. There's something you feel you need to say, you want to say, but you're struggling to be able to do that. Now, whether that is about a specific situation or just overall in life, in your life in general, you know, maybe you're struggling to do that. And they're saying here, you know, I would say it's not only your team of angels. I would think it's your team. Next, we have the crown chakra. Pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. So I feel almost like it's like, you know, you're going to get this idea. So I almost feel like they go this way. And they're drawn. Okay. So note the ball of light here, the ball of light here, the ball of light here. Okay. And I feel like it's almost like here's the idea up here, and then it gets down into here, into the earthly plane, and then it comes over to here where it can be spoken about, talked about, taught about, whatever that is for you, it's about bringing it forward. It is a progression and a progress and a process, all of the above. And that's why they showed me this. Okay, so then we have Archangel Raphael, and it says the healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. So whether this is healing on yourself or on others or both, again, there's this offer and this opportunity to call in support and assistance for yourself. Okay. Where else are we going here? Oh, I left a note for myself. Okay, well, so this deck talks about now the way it talks about our unconscious beliefs and deep-seated, not seated, but seated, feelings, beliefs, right? So let's see how this is playing a role in what we got going on here. All right, let's see. What do we have going on? Thank you. Divine magic. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. So what I want to say about this is, okay, so for one, we have a mermaid who is communicating here with what could be an angel or could be taken as a fairy. Take it how it resonates, leave the rest. The bottom line is that, I mean, think about that for just for a moment. Like just that concept alone, how magical is that? The thought of these two beings coming together to work together to have support. Oh my gosh, and I just realized that's the image that's on the bottom, on the back of all the cards. That's interesting. I just didn't even notice that till just now. So they're bringing me back again to this, to this, you know, asking for help. You need it is about voicing your needs, voicing not your needs, because that gives us a lower vibe. Your desires. What are your desires? What are your dreams? And voicing your invitation and your acceptance of help and support and assistance. If that's what you're wanting. Yeah, see, helpful person. Someone wants to help you. Think of whom it might be and initiate contact. Now, this could be an actual person. This could be, maybe it's someone that you personally know. Maybe it's somebody that you know of. This could be a professional person. It could be someone who just, it could be somebody professional in the sense of maybe it is a professional in a specific field that comes to your mind. Maybe it is, you know, oh, hey, I know this person and I don't know her, but I know of her, or I've seen her or him here and there. And I know that they blah, 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 you know, whatever that looks like. It could be a family member, could be a friend, could be angelic support, could be from your entire team. You know, could be utmost high, God, source, universe, spirit, whatever that is for you. But there is, I mean, It is very, very, very apparent that there is quite a bit of help available to you. And maybe you haven't realized that or thought of that or considered that. Got stuff flying out at me. It's interesting because these literally just fell out. Okay. All right. So we have play and we have steady progress. So I would say that if you choose to embark on this journey, right, play is going to be important for you. Okay. Allowing yourself that time to just let go, be free. I'm specifically hearing that definitely for one person, but it could be actually for a few, that you weren't actually in a position where you got to experience like the freedom and the innocence of childhood. So learning to play may be an actual learning experience for you. Learning play as in, what does this look like for you now as an adult, which can be, and I know it's going to sound crazy, but it can sound quite challenging for people that haven't had that freedom to be safe, to experience the innocence and the exploratory energy of a child. So it can be a little challenging for us as adults to try to just go do this, right? For us, it's not about trying to go do this. It's about trying to, let me learn this. You know, what does this look like? What does it feel like just to be free, to just be free in my innocence and safe in my freedom, in my innocence, in my, you know, fun, in my play, right? Maybe some of us didn't have that companionship, right? Which we see here. And it's funny because both of these have 3. The steady progress has this support of 2 others or 3 others with you. Same with the mermaid deck. There is 3. This could be 3 people that come along for you, with you, or 3 people as in, you know, it could be present or past. It could be something future coming in. But the bottom line is for those who have not had that experience of a childhood that was in a space to be safe, to play, to be a kid, it can be a challenging experience for an adult because, again, as at one of these talked about, what the note that I had written to myself about this one deck, you know, this is about deep-seated, and I'm getting seated, S-E-E-D, as well as seated, S-E-A-T. So it's feeling like, you know, there's a lot of beliefs that got built around not having that opportunity to have that freedom and that safety to play. There's a lot of development that happens in that time frame on various different levels that didn't get to naturally unfold. So you're being given a gentle, beautiful little nudge to play, whatever that looks like for you. You know, get outside, go for a walk, ride a bike, climb a mountain, parachute out of a plane, take up roller skating, roller skating, something that retro. I've actually seen people on, what is that app? Instagram, where there's some people, you know, that do skating as a form of exercise and fun. There's dance, there's painting, there's, you know, being with animals, being with, you know, whatever it is. And if you don't know what that is, experiment, and find your thing that, or your things that you find fun, that bring you into places and spaces of laughter, of enjoyment. Yeah, see, and manifesting. That was something in here about manifesting. Maybe not. Maybe that's just the message you guys are giving me in my head. Okay, so they're saying that when you get into that, when you find those things that make you feel joyful, happy, that have you laughing, even if it's a little chuckle that you have to start out with, it's a start, it's a point, it's steady progress, which we see in this one, steady progress, right? In that moment, you know, if you happen to think of it in that moment, speak your truth. You know, even if it's just to your team, even if it's to yourself in the mirror, even if it's just to yourself in the car by yourself, you know, speak your, you know, I'm wanting to manifest this, and oh my gosh, I love this idea. I am so excited. I can see it all unfolding in front of me. That's all you got to say. I mean, it can be those words, but it doesn't have to be those words. That's just an example, and it doesn't have to be long and drawn out. But if you take these tiny little baby steps to speak these things into being, you're starting out by speaking these things in those tiny little moments. And then as these moments become more frequent and they become stronger, and they're more than just a quick little, you know, chuckle or a quick little, you know, laugh over this, that, or the other, right? You're becoming stronger because this is helping you to heal those inner child wounds, or those wounds from whatever. It's helping you to be stronger, but it's also giving your manifestation and your speaking abilities more power in a healthy, balanced way. So it's the play and healing the child. It's the speaking up, which is healing for you also, which are things that typically this kind of a child would not have experienced if they weren't able to be this free and safe in their learning, in their development, in their play, in their expressions, right? And then it's also helping you in your manifestations. Wow. Okay. I honestly didn't think they were going to have us use this whole thing, or all 4 of these decks. All right. I'm liking this message. I'm hoping that this resonates with some of you in the sense of giving you the steps of how you can shift this for yourself, if this is you. And if this isn't you, if you didn't have the kind of childhood that trying to overcome these different challenges, I feel the message is still nonetheless the same, that there may be something you're trying to shift or change, whether it is a situation that involves others or just something that you're wanting to accomplish or achieve for yourself. It comes down to speaking and bringing the idea to here in this dimension, and then speaking it out, asking for help and support and assistance in not just in your healing, but in making this come forward, showing you in some way, shape, or form what's my next step when that next step time arrives. It is about calling in the support, whether, again, that, you know, doesn't matter what that looks like for you. Whatever that looks like for you, that's what it looks like for you. I would also suggest that in those moments when you're feeling happy, it's literally calling them in, calling your support in, whatever that is for you, your wording, calling them in, just invite them. I am so excited to call you guys in and ask you for your help. I ask for it, I invite it, I accept it, I receive it, you know, whatever that is. We have karmic relationship came out. So for some of you, this is about a karmic relationship that you are currently in, and you're trying to process it through to its completion, whatever that completion looks like. Sometimes that means being done with it. Other times, I mean, who knows? Everybody's situation is different. Yeah. Okay. Let's move this. Oops. Out of the way. See, these two stayed out. Oh, I see. All right. All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. All right. I was grabbing this one, but I think it was because they wanted me to move this deck, which brought out a lot. So, oh wow, did you see that? Did you guys see that? I pulled, I don't know if, I doubt it'll do it again. I pulled this one, yes, and this just kind of came with it. I'm going to have to watch that on the rewind. That was very cool. This is very, very, very important. And it bookends with shield. We have shield yourself, clear yourself. Yeah. Okay. This is the one that they're drawing out to me as well. All right. Yep, I see it. I see it in that one. I got it. All right, we need to chill, guys, because okay, this is a lot of messages. All right. All right, let me just get situated here. It's funny because when they give me so many cards, it's like, but you're gonna mess up my order. Like that really matters. That's funny. All right. Okay, you wanted it the other way. I got it. Okay, guys. I'm still hyped and excited because how this just kind of followed with the law of attraction card. So let me break it down. Okay, we do have the karmic relationship. So there is some sort of karmic relationship. I understand most people, typically tend to go right for a romantic relationship. Oh, that explains the one I'm in. Or, oh, see, I have to dump this one because there's one coming. And people can romanticize things. And sometimes it's not very romantic. So I'm just saying that. Why am I saying that? Okay, so they're saying it's about learning to have discernment that is accurate. And this takes practice. We will make mistakes. We mistook. And that brings us also with it though, the ability to take again, to get ourselves course correcting and back on track. Somebody needs to hear that. The interesting thing is we have this karmic relationship and there's this, see, they don't look like they're struggling, do they? They look like they're happy. And I'm not saying that karmic relationships are bad. So, let me be clear. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying these people look to be very happy. But when we look at the other cards supporting this card, these that we've already had, which are about speaking your truth and getting help, support, and assistance, to me would imply that maybe this is a relationship, a karmic relationship that is the one, maybe things are not as they appear to be, okay? Maybe you guys present the perfect couple to others, and maybe in reality you're not. Maybe this is, I could go down a whole bunch with that, but you guys take it how it resonates and leave the rest. You know what your situation is, okay? We do also have them, when I take that karmic relationship card and I look at what came out on its own, so it's almost like this tells me that this may not be what it seems. These down here tell me this may not be what it seems. So again, you take what resonates and leave the rest. And if this reading isn't for you, it's not for you, and that's okay. No judgment, you know. Then I would invite you to check out any one of our other readings and see if any of those resonate with you. So moving on here. So we got the karmic relationship. And again, here on these, we have bookended. Shield yourself, clear yourself. We also have cut cords, okay? So protecting yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. Now, that's a suggestion. You can do that. You could do whatever it is that works for you. Calling in your team, calling in the higher power to hold you, to surround you, to shield you, to protect you, calling in Archangel Michael, calling in whoever, whatever it is that works for you, that is your wording, to bring this protection in and guidance, which again, we see repeatedly that you're being invited to invite support, help, assistance, guidance, changing your progress, or changing your, steady progress towards something, right? But putting in this element of play, which may seem like utterly ridiculous to put this in with all of this other messages, but this actually is super important. Whatever it is that gives you a sense of enjoyment is going to be really important for you to partake in this journey. Okay? This is a past life issue that is happening here, or that is, whether that's the relationship itself, whether it's the process that you are in of what you're trying to heal, right? Maybe there's past life issues around not speaking your truth, past life issues around not having safe childhoods to grow into the normal things, and I say normal with air quotes because that's different for everybody. But, you know, who knows what angle that is for past life, because again, this is, you know, multiple people. This could be taken several different ways. Again, this is about asking for assistance, and hear me out here, for you to have this stuff brought to your conscious awareness. Now, a lot of people are like, what? I don't want to remember that, or oh, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to go through that again. Nobody says you have to go through it again, okay? That's the point of it, right? So that we can stop the cycles, the patterns, the loops, the wheels, whatever you want to label that as. But how are we going to do that if we have no awareness that it's even a pattern, a loop, a wheel, or a cycle? Maybe we don't remember any of our past lives, or maybe we do remember a lot of them, and we just haven't picked up yet on that. Oh, well, that's the pattern, or that's a pattern, whatever. But there's that saying, you know, knowledge is power. To me, knowledge is power. Action is extraordinary. Action changes everything. Knowledge is power, but it's the action that is going to shift everything, right? Knowledge is power. Action is empowering. You can say empowering with the EM, and you can say empowering, IN. It's internal. It is in me. It is empowering. Okay? Knowledge is power. Action is empowering. So it's the two coming together. When you bring this to your conscious awareness, right? This helps you then. I can process it. I can learn from it and understand, release it, heal it, let it go. Therefore, I can stop the cycles, the loops, the wheels, the patterns of just what's not serving me anymore. I hope that makes sense. Next we have vegetarian, vegan. Okay, so if this is a touchy situation or topic for you, then, you know, I don't know, you might not want to listen. The bottom line is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a vegetarian or vegan myself. I would like to be. I strive for that, but I'm not successful in that every single day, right? And let me rephrase that. I am successful on the days I am successful. And on those days, I celebrate that I have been successful in that, right? Here's the thing. And this is strictly my opinion. I am not a professional, okay? There is my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a professional. You are responsible for you, your choices, your decisions, your quality of life, right? When it comes to being a vegetarian and a vegan, yes, it is about those fresh fruits and vegetables that are, as organic as possible, that that you work with, meet yourself where you are, okay? Whether you can revamp and go cold turkey and totally change everything, and you have the finances for that, and you have the resources and of knowledge and people and blah, blah, blah. Great. If you don't, that doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means, again, it's steady progress. Even if it's replacing one thing one time a week, that is a progress and a step in the direction that you're wanting to now head. Okay? Meet yourself where you are. Don't judge yourself, because, there's enough of that happening in the world. The reason that this is here is because, let's stop and think about this for a moment. Yes, we all know the benefits of doing this, or most of us know the benefits of doing this has to do with fortifying and strengthening our body to help it heal itself without all of the sugars and the fats and the additives and the chemicals and all the crap that gets put into our food nowadays that really are hindering our health and our bodies. So think about that for a moment. With all of that happening in your body, a great deal of our energy, whether it is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic, goes to trying to process all of that crap to function, for our bodies to function the way it was designed to function. Okay? So there's that component. And then when you sit and you think about, well, when I start doing this, right, I can now take all this energy that I have been pouring into just being able to let my body function, and it begins to function more evenly, more balanced, so that energy, that all my energy that was being poured into that, now I have the energy available to me to be able to start processing in other areas of my life, other life areas, right? So, and this also includes, it helps your vibration to be able to raise, to rise, I guess I should say, because again, not all of this energy is over here in all this heaviness. Okay. And, I knew someone once who would get immediately defensive, irritated, even angry when people would talk about being vegan or vegetarian and how it helped them, or how they felt so different, not only in their body, but in their spiritual journey, or in their healing work, line of work they were doing. They really felt a shift, and she would just get so angry and so defensive. And, well, they signed a contract, meaning the animals. They signed a contract, and it was like, I'm not judging her, but I'm just saying, in that, it taught me to understand and think about, okay, even if there was a contract signed by animals to allow us to eat them, and I'm not getting into that debate. I'm not saying that is what it is. I'm not saying it's not what it is, okay? Everybody's going to have to come up with their own opinion about that. All I'm saying is, even if that's true, okay, think about the peoples that we have an understanding of, that when they hunted and when they killed an animal, the animal lived freely. It wasn't bred to just be slaughtered. It didn't live in horrid conditions. It wasn't treated inhumanely. It wasn't, blah, 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 right? It ran free. It lived its life until someone hunted it. And these people gave thanks. They gave appreciation for this. They honored the animal that sacrificed its life for them. That is a very different energy than the energy that animals go through in this world currently, that most animals go through in this world currently. And when you think about that, it's like you're eating these animals, the pain, the trauma, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a whole thing. You have your own opinions about that, and that is totally fine. No judging. I'm only relaying what is coming through as a message right now. These are things that are in play, okay? These are things that can be taking energy away from what you could be utilizing to help you process all of this stuff, the emotional, the spiritual kind of thing, the energetic stuff. And that's why it's coming to my attention to share this with you. Again, you take it how it resonates with you. If it doesn't, leave it alone and move on. This is not about judging me for what I've said or judging others for their choices and decisions. I'm just sharing, again, what's coming through, okay? I do feel, again, also this emotional sensitivity. And it would make sense, right? Whenever we're going through any sort of shifting and changing, it can be very emotional for us, especially if we are facing past life things and we're allowing these things to be brought to our conscious awareness so that we can process them and leave them in the past where they belong and quit letting them quit letting them resurface again and again and again. And two, we stop letting them influence our power and, I was going to say our life, but our power in our life in ways that are just not serving for us, that create imbalances that then we have to try to figure out how to recognize that and how to fix it, right? Again, as I just said about this, it's about honor, right? Honor and respect your deep sensitivity, right? I also, though, am feeling so, yeah. Again, there are people who have challenges when it comes to our emotions. We let our emotions run the show. And frequently that lets us turn into a doormat, people pleaser, et cetera, et cetera. So again, don't shoot the messenger. Sorry, it is still a little bit chilly. Anyway, it is important to be in a state where we're balanced in our emotions and we're balanced in our mind, right? Because if you're only in your head and you don't allow yourself to feel, well, that's not helpful. And if we're only in our emotions and we don't allow ourselves to be logical about things, well, then that's not helpful either. It's about bringing both of these to a state of balance so that it helps us to function in a balanced way and have a higher quality of life because we're not all over the place. I hope that all makes sense. Next card out, we have this law of attraction. And it says, relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. So again, I feel like, this stuff is shifting for a reason, right? You're growing, you're expanding, you're ascending, you're evolving, you're changing, whatever words you want to put on that. And again, I feel like, especially for those people who are empaths, or maybe you don't realize you're an empath, so maybe you might want to do some book reading on that to learn about that. It is extremely important to have healthy boundaries in place. If you don't know what healthy boundaries look like, again, educate yourself. As you begin to grow and change through this, people aren't going to like it. There's just no other way to say that. People aren't going to like it. Whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, coworkers, it doesn't matter. People aren't going to like it. There are going to be some people who will be supportive, right? Sometimes we end up shifting up our friends. And I don't mean up as in there's anything wrong with the other ones. I mean shifting up as in changing up, right? That ends up shifting for us because a lot of times when we begin to learn this stuff and we begin to grow and expand in this stuff, person who we used to be, and the friends of that don't really want to hear about this stuff. They don't want to know about it. They don't believe in it. Maybe it offends them. Maybe it's just too much for them. And that's okay. There's no judging them for that. They're just not in the place and space at this time to go down that road. And you are. So it's not about judging yourself, and it's not about judging them, but it is about honoring and being true to yourself and meeting yourself where you are. So if you are an empath, again, educate yourself. If you're emotional or any part of this, there's educating yourself, right? And again, law of attraction. We attract what we put out there. And if you don't know about law of attraction, read about it, watch videos, whatever. And I would say be selective in what advice you take, whether it's a book or somebody you listen to or whatever, even if it's me. Again, that's why we always say, take what resonates and leave the rest, because not everything is going to apply to you. I mean, there's been times that I've bought a book about something and I've read through the whole book, and then it's like I get down to, like the end of the book, and there'll be a sentence and it's like, oh my gosh, that's my epiphany, my aha moment. But it wasn't the whole book. It was this sentence or this paragraph or this chapter. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn to be discerning. Very, very discerning, and learning to take what resonates and leave the rest. That's all I can say. And again, with this law of attraction, this clear yourself card came out with it and literally followed it over here to the rest. And it's saying, ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. Again, when we are very emotional, if we're not shielding ourselves, if we're not doing our work and protecting ourselves, getting grounded and connected, putting our shields up when we know that there are people who have energies that clash with ours, or that somebody who's just on a rampage of negativity, shields up, shields up, shields up, shields up, right? This is not, this is clearing yourself from any, again, cutting cords, where you have been this martyr, this victim, the doormat. It does take clearing yourself. It does take shielding yourself. It does take cutting cords. This is also about forgiveness. This is about forgiving yourself, because we can get very unforgiving towards ourselves for being in the situations we're in. And this is not helpful to you, your growth, or anyone or anything else. And this is also about forgiving the other person or people or situation or event or environment, whatever it is. This is not saying that you condone anything. This is simply saying, I refuse to carry any of that garbage anymore. You are where you are. And okay. And trust me, I understand that this is so much easier to say than it is to do. But it really comes down to, I refuse to carry any of that anymore. I refuse to be in that loop, in that wheel, in that cycle. I refuse to give you access to me by allowing this, whatever this is, to constantly interfere or influence me, in any way, shape, or form. And the only way I'm going to be able to get to that is to get to that place and space where I can forgive and move on. And take my lessons and learn my lessons, heal myself, and move on. Okay? And again, law of attraction is important here. It is important to learn and understand, and again, this clearing yourself. I would suggest, doing the grounding and connecting, shielding and clearing yourself. Even if you have to do it multiple times a day, do it when you get up in the morning, do it before you go to bed at night. Definitely those 2 times. If you have things happen throughout the day, pause, take a moment. You can say it out loud. You can do it in your head. You can write it down. I don't care how you do it. But these things would be very, very beneficial for you. Okay. We do have fairies here. And again, take what resonates and leave the rest. It could be actual fairies that you have a strong connection to. It could also be that, you know, they're bringing you the message of being open to calling in other beings, whether that is angels, fairies, you know, your soul family, you know, whatever that looks like for you. These high bringing in, and I would specify, I'm just saying, I would suggest specifying those that are very high vibrational and in the purity of divine love, light, and life, right? Because we don't want to open the door to just call in anything. And only that is truly of that essence, right? And I would come up with whatever it is that works for you, that is your way of guaranteeing that you're not calling in something else. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the cards real quick because I didn't hold any of these up. So we have Shield Yourself and Past Life. Okay. We have Vegetarian, Vegan, and Emotional Sensitivity. We have Law of Attraction and Clear Yourself. And I can't emphasize this enough that these came out and this one literally followed this one. So I really feel like, you know, we can have things running in the background that we are totally unaware of, and they can be really affecting us. So it is important to, you know, again, state something to that fact, you know, that you're bringing in this healing and you're releasing and doing all of this, even on those things that you have no awareness of, but that are non-serving to you, that are not healthy or whatever your wording is. All right. We have Be Willing to Forgive and Cut Your Cords. And then we have Fairies and Books. And again, there's a lot about educating yourself. Whether that is books, whether that is webinars, workshops, social groups, you know, videos, whatever. But I will say, make sure you are practicing discernment to understand if it feels even a little bit off to you, then it's not for you. Then I would, and then there's a difference between something that feels off and, ooh, okay, I don't like this. This is uncomfortable to me because, yeah, she's hitting the mark. And I know that applies to me, but I just don't want to admit it. Two very different feelings. Very, very different feelings. Okay, guys, this is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. We have given you some things to think about. We've also given you some things to help yourself in this journey. Lots of support is available for you. You just need, well, if you want it, it's just about calling it in, inviting it, accepting it, receiving it. It's about you doing your part, right? Shielding yourself, clearing yourself, eating to fortify and nurture yourself, honoring yourself and bringing in balance. It's about cutting your cords. It's about forgiveness. I understand that each of these things are are various things, and it can seem overwhelming, but here's the key to conquering overwhelm. One step at a time. Here's your big picture. You can write your list of all your steps of how you're going to get there, if that helps you, but focus only on one step. Then put that piece of paper away and only have your first step written in front of you, if that's your thing. And if it's not, writing is not your thing, that's okay, but take that concept or ideas equivalent in whatever it is that does work for you. The point is it's not about getting overwhelmed. Okay? All right, guys, until next time, thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, notification bell, and share, as each and every one of those things are important. They do help me. Yes, of course. They do help my channel. Yes, of course. But they also help us, because this allows these messages to get out and become up more and more to reach other people who they can also possibly help. Okay? Until next time, guys, thanks for being here. Bye.